Today we will introduce a new product, especially two. One is a refrigerator. Another one is air conditioner. Refrigerator is dual fan cooling technology inverter model, and Lumiacon is air sweep. That is provide you a good sleep at night. Okay. Refrigerator is we focus on the inverter technology. That is we can look at we contribute to your energy saving. So mean the energy consumption is get much lower than previous model. Yeah, and the air conditioner is we feature this time is air sleep. We can provide you a good sleep at night, even very hot night. Okay.
So what I have here is the HTC Butterfly S. Pretty cool, nifty little phone. Going to spend a lot of time comparing it to the original Butterfly and a little bit of the HTC One as well. So holding it in my hands feels nice, although not nearly as nice as the HTC One, given that is the flagship phone. That's not surprising particularly. Saying that though, the internal specs are slightly better than the HTC One. More about that later on. So what makes this stand out? Firstly, the boom speakers here on the front, boom sound, it's nicer at the front, because if you have it at the side, etc., or the back, it gets a little bit muffled depending how you hold it. Facing you straight on, obviously gives a much better effect. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, very much like the S4, it's a full HD screen, and it's 5 inches, and it's nice and clear. I'm very happy with that. See? Know what I mean? Nice, clear, stands out, good color reproduction, good viewing angles as well. As for the actual body, I'm just going to show you the top. If you've used an HTC One, you'll notice there's some differences. The middle button right there, that's the power button. The HTC One is actually on the side. This doubles up as your receiver for your TV, so you can change your TV settings, etc. Quite a cool feature if you ask me, and I'm very happy to use it. Right next to it though, if I pop it open, that is exactly where you slot in the micro SD slot and also your micro SIM as well. Internally, it's 16 GB, but obviously with micro SD, you can increase it exponentially depending how many micro SD cards you actually have. Let me pop it back into place. Sadly, this is not waterproof. The last one was, if you remember correctly, and I quite enjoy having a waterproof phone, but it's okay. I think most phones out there are not waterproof, so I can certainly learn to live with it. Now, this is running on 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, and that's pretty cool if you ask me, although having Sense 5.0 does make some of the lock screen elements redundant because there's lots of different features with Sense itself, which I'm really happy to use. Another thing that's cool is Blink Feed has come back into this, and it's been updated, so now you can use Instagram and WeChat as well. Now, WeChat was not available on the HTC One, so it seems, for now anyway, to be exclusive to the Butterfly S. What about other aspects of this? Well, I touched a little bit about it, but the build itself, yes, it's a unibody casing, but it's a plasticky finish. It feels oily in my hands. Fingerprint magnet, but if you're going to use a case, I guess it's going to negate that. But you compare it to the beautifully crafted HTC One and it pales in comparison. One thing it doesn't pale in comparison to the HTC One would be the camera. Now remember, the last Butterfly had an 8 megapixel camera. This one goes to exactly what we have in the HTC One, which is the ultra pixel 4 megapixel camera. So yes, low light conditions are better, but you have a slight smeary effect, so the detail is lost, so I'm not particularly happy with that. Now in terms of the processor, it's 1.9 Qualcomm Snapdragon. Actually, it technically on paper is better than the HTC One, but we clocked it in at about 1.7, so slightly less. But at the end of the day, I don't think you're going to really notice the difference. Other aspects of this, the battery life is pretty cool. 3,200 mAh, so you're talking about a day and a half of battery use. To give you a comparison, the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 was 3,001 and the Note 3 is 3,003, so it's got a lot of beef and juice inside of it, which makes me pretty happy to use. So what do I think about this in general? Well, it's a pretty powerful phone. In fact, the benchmark tests put it slightly better than the Samsung Galaxy S4, so that's obviously awesome, using the 1.9 gigahertz Qualcomm processor, by the way. I have to say, very impressed. If you're a fan of the speakerphones, this has great audio. Yes, it's powered by Beats Audio. We're not going to see that much more from HTC. In fact, the HTC One Max does not have it because the partnership between HTC and Beats has been dissolved. So make use of it while you can. Though, to be honest, I've always found it a little bit more of a gimmick. The boom sound speakers themselves are great. You can download different tools to really fully focus the audio, but that's more for the future. Currently, it still has its Beats Audio. Now, where it really makes it stand out from something like the HTC One is actually more on the design. With the UI and everything looking so similar, I mean, if I was to just show you that, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between HTC One and the HTC Butterfly S. It's the actual build, having this plastic-y design. It does have more striking colors available like gray, red, and white compared to the HTC One. Both of them great alternatives to each other, but in terms of performance, it's going to be pretty much the same. Although if you prefer a nice build quality, look at the HTC One. If you're looking for something with actually a little bit more processing power, look at the Butterfly S. Overall, can't really differentiate between the two apart from the design itself.